Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another Java-based tutorial. This is the second in the series that is basically going to show you how to declare variables and string concatenation. These are important since we want to usually output concatenated variables to the command line, and I'll show you why in just a second. Also, I'm just going to run through primitive data types, just explaining what they are and how you can use them. So, first of all, we have our class definition, and our class is called strings and things. This should always be the same as your file name. So as you can see, it's strings and things.java. And then if you're from a command line interface, you would compile these accordingly using those Java files using a javac command. But since we're in an IDE environment, this is all done for us, which is another nice reason why to use an IDE, such as NetBeans. So to start off, we're just going to establish some variables. So one of the primitive data types in Java is an integer. That's using keyword int. An integer is basically a primitive data type that's stored in memory at a certain length. I'm pretty sure it's maybe 32-bit. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. So if we do an integer num is equal to 1, now we have, once this program runs and main is executed, it'll bring the number variable and bring that into memory accordingly and assign the number 1 to it. So once we have a integer stored in memory, we can manipulate that or print it out accordingly. So I also wanted to show you string concatenation. So well, actually before that, I'll just explain this. So whenever you're declaring a variable, it's the data type. This case is the primitive data type integer, which is int for the keyword. Then our variable name is equal to 1. So whenever you're assigning a value to a variable, it's always variable name on the left and whatever it is on the right. So for string concatenation, we're just going to do a system.out.println, and then we're going to have something like So what we're doing here is basically taking our num variable and concatenating it onto our system.out.println statement, or we'll make that println, and this is going to output to the command line. So the reason what we're doing here is this is a literal string that we're concatenating onto our variable num. So once we do that, we're going to be able to see it in the command line. So let's run this. And as you can see, our num variable is equal to 1. So that's basically the basics for assigning variables and string concatenation. If we wanted to do another string concatenation example, we could do something like and then we can add another string literal onto it, like that. So basically what we're doing here is taking our first string literal, which is our num variable is equal to, and then plus num, which is 1. So which is 1 is going to be concatenated onto that. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, missed a little space there. Maybe we should add that to make it look more pretty. So our num variable is equal to 1, our num variable is equal to 1, which is 1. So that's basic string concatenation as well as variable assignment. Next thing I wanted to show you was just maybe manipulating those assigned variables a little bit. So in Java, there's certain operators that you can use to do basic arithmetic and things like that. So a basic operator is addition, which is simply a plus. So if we wanted to do int num is 1, 2, and then our our added number. So this is what I actually wanted to show you. So in Java, you can't not have the same variable name that is the same data type. So, you can't declare another variable of a different data type of the same variable name as well, because it just won't work. So this has to be different. So num1. Okay, so say we wanted to add those together and then assign that to added. Basically all we have to do is do added is equal to num plus num1. Now basically that's going to be simple addition. That's going to take 1 and 2, add them together, and then assign it to our added variable. So let's do that. And as you can see, we don't have a print statement, so we can't see what's in those variables. And then if we do something like that, then we're going to have our output printed to the command line. So we should see 3. Our added numbers is 3. So another little example here. If we did a printout prior to our addition operation, then we're just going to get 0. Our numbers added prior to our addition is okay. So as you can see, we assign 0 to that first, and then we printed out added, which is 0 at the time. We do our addition operation, we assign that to added, and then it's printed out accordingly. So that's basic manipulation of variables and string concatenation. We're doing really basic things at this point in time because this is pretty much what you have to understand initially prior to doing any complex operations in Java. The next things I'm going to start running through are class-based methods that we can use by importing libraries that we can use for additional tools, as well as some more advanced functionality such as creating methods and executing those accordingly. So thanks for viewing my second tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot.